second album he put out back in 1974. And Kinky Freeman just happens to be live in the Kpft studios with us today, getting ready for the big show tonight at the Mucky Duck. Probably sold out, but you might be able to be shoehorned in if you're lucky. Kinky, you are listening. You are here at Kpft, and you've been here many times before. And you like the community radio station format. You like the way that stations put together.
Yeah, I would say, and this Billy Bob covers this very well. But the same thing that's happening in Nashville, which is three people in kind of a whorehouse corporate publishing venture, sit in a room. No, three guys in a room here, and then three guys down the hall, three more guys writing songs, which somebody's recording. I mean, they must be making money. I don't know, Garth Brooks or Tim McGraw or somebody's recording them. But somehow no one has written Hello Walls, and no one has written Me and Bobby McGee. Okay, we don't understand how those three guys, Chris, Willie, and Roger Miller, when they were drunk and broke in the same area, right in Music Row in the same little town, were able to write all this great stuff. And these guys in the past 2 decades haven't been able to write anything that really jumps out, that isn't derivative. But that's just Nashville.
Well, I don't think the American people get it or want it. They want the generic junk.
Well, that's because, according to Billy Bob...
That's all they're getting fed.
No, he says, yeah, the audience has become the show now. The same is true of Hollywood, and the same is true of Washington. The audience has become the show. Billy Bob thinks we will never see a young John Lennon coming up. We won't see a star again. You'll see.
They won't let that happen.
Yeah, you'll see product like Lady Gaga and Justin Bieber, but you won't see a young Jimi Hendrix or a Janis Joplin becoming a star.
And why does he say that?
He says it is because of the internet. Everybody is a film critic. Everybody's got a CD release party. Everybody can do it, and there's a lot of anger there from people that are angry at whatever they're angry at. And I mean, it's impossible for me to believe that we got a whole generation that was born too late, that knows, the songwriters know it would be cool to be able to write and perform like Townes Van Zandt. They know who the right people are. They don't worship Justin Bieber, I mean, or someone like that. They know, but they, for some reason, I mean, Billy says if he's asked about songwriters today, he might say they suck. I haven't heard anything. Well, what happens then is he gets 1,000 emails and all that stuff saying, "Oh, you bitter old walking extinct dinosaur, you don't know anything." And he says, when you tell the truth, you get into trouble on the internet, like he and the disc jockey up in Canada, where they got into that thing that got over 1 million hits, where they got into a beef.
Tiff, and it was on
film.
Well,
that's what we started talking about, was the Rick Perry thing. I got mentally sidetracked there, but after I wrote the good piece on Rick Perry, or at least pointing out the good things about the man, it was a funny piece. It was not. I certainly never endorsed him.
The internet said that you got behind him.
Right.
Okay.
I never
and that's
got
what
behind
I read.
him. No. My title for the piece was Another Side of Rick Perry.
Right.
Daily Beast rechanged the title to Kinky for Perry. And then my pal Evan Smith with the Texas Tribune and others put Kinky endorses Perry.
Okay.
Now, what Billy's saying is really true in that instance. That's a minor incident of it. But what if it had been that I was a rapist, or I was a hit-and-run driver, or something like that, a wife beater? You can't defend yourself anymore. Once it's out there going viral or viral or whatever it goes,
damage is done, even if you are innocent.
That's right. And you and I can sit around and tell, I didn't endorse him, man. Sure. I'm a musician, I did a bunch of interviews, Rourke, and I said, I'm a musician. I'm not a politician. I'm not a Tammany Hall operative. I don't endorse anybody. I would never endorse Rick Perry. I don't even endorse the people I like. They wouldn't hear it. I mean, I could have sued somebody. It wouldn't have made any difference. So. And I got really a lot of hate mail on that from constipated, humorless, liberal Democrats like Melissa. But I got a lot of nasty stuff on that. And then I went on O'Reilly and said that Obama has done for the economy what pantyhose did for foreplay. And Bill did not like it. He didn't smile at all. He's kind of a prig. But he thinks the show's a family show. The word foreplay is just too much for Bill to understand. So he looks down at his notes and just a little flustered. And then but there were thousands of tweets on that one, very positive. So,
good.
That the problem is, it is the Crips and the Bloods, and all they do care about is their own power and greed.
Sure.
And and if you want to hear anybody talk about the Constitution, or about the future of our country, about you better go to what do they call? I can never remember the name of those people that like the two. This happened to me in Fort Worth on stage, and
libertarians.
Libertarians. I can't remember the word libertarian. So I was saying, I was asking the audience to help me. Who are these? Because my mind is going, I can't hear real well, and all that shit. So go to a libertarian meeting. I said, but I couldn't think of libertarian. These are the people that they're kind of Tea Party-ish. They love the Constitution. They love America. Who are they? What do we call them? And there was a guy on the side of the stage hollering up to me saying, libertarian. And since I'm going deaf, I thought he was saying secretariat, the racehorse, which I couldn't figure out what that had to do with it. Secretariat. So at any rate, that's the end of that story. So
one more reason why you should get back in the rat race.
Yeah, the politics.
Which you said you'd never do.
No, well, more and more, I think good people are staying out and bad people are getting in, and that's unfortunate. And like I say, it's the only field of endeavor in which the more experience you have, the worse you get.
Mm-hmm.
Politics.
Sure.
So anyway, we played this song, "Get Your Biscuits in the Oven, Your Buns in the Bed." We were going to do it, Juford and I, on a Dallas TV show, the big station up there. And so we did a little bit to rehearse it, And then we did Old Ben Lucas Had a Lot of Mucus, those were our two morning show cuts. And the guy said, if you don't mind, let's use Old Ben Lucas and let's cut Biscuits and Buns and replace it with Soul American or something else.
Right.
And I said, why? No woman in the world is going to take offense to this. And he says, you will be surprised. We'll be slammed by women who hate this song. That's what he thought. Mm-hmm. I still don't.
I don't agree with that.
I don't agree with that. And in 2011, it's hard for me to imagine that they would react the way the lesbian mob did at the University of Buffalo in 1973. And boy, that was not funny, Rourke. That was serious. When they attacked the Jew boys on stage, and the lesbians were winning, by the way. This was not. It sounds funny, and we're still trying to play "Get Your Biscuits" and then it got. People are thrown to the ground. And the campus police were called in, and we had to get a complete police escort off the campus right in the middle of the show. And then I won the Male Chauvinist Pig of the Year award from the National Organization for Women, 1973.
You're so proud of that.
I'm very proud of it.
Smoothed over with the organization yet?
Probably not.
Well, I don't know. I was the only candidate who supported gay marriage in 2006.
Okay.
Said everybody that they've got every right to be just as miserable as the rest of us. I also was against the death penalty. Told the Christians, that I apologize. I'm sorry you got to hear this from a Jew, but remember, folks, that's who you heard it from the first time. And people, I find, are taking. At least they all think they voted for me, which is kind of like everybody that thinks they saw the Beatles or they think they were at Woodstock,
Mm-hmm.
Which is good. It can't be bad. It's too bad for Texas.
Absolutely.
Because, truthfully, traveling around the country now, I see that almost everybody gets it, that things would have been far better for Texas if I had won and Rick Perry had lost. And I think most Texans think that, too.
So you should throw your hat into
When 26% of the people vote, you're going to get a Republican or a Democrat elected. An independent can't win.
Mm-hmm.
So that's part of the problem. And they do their best to suppress the young people's vote and the people who don't usually vote. They don't try to have a big turnout because that would have elected me.
Kinky Friedman, live in the Kpft studio.